Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Sunday. We are here on South Padre Island, Cameron County Axis 4. So if you're not here yet and you're nearby, come out here. We have a very exciting day. We are releasing over 300 sea turtles back into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, they came in about early on this week due to a cold sun event. Here on South Padre Island, we typically see cold sun events during the months of December, January, and February. But just like any other place in the state of Texas, our winters can be kind of a little bit all over the place. And so we actually did have our first cold sun about a week ago. That was the first one this year in 2025. And we released over 175 sea turtles. Now, we did release those back into the Gulf of Mexico, and the good thing is that none of those were repeaters. So none of those sea turtles that we released a week ago came back during this cold sun. During this cold sun, we are going to release, again, over 300 green sea turtles. This is the species that we typically see coming into our facility due to the cold sun events. As I mentioned, here on South Padre Island, our weather can be kind of a little bit all over the place. We are having a beautiful morning today. Everyone is in short sleeves and shorts. Our water is a little bit cold, but not cold enough for these sea turtles. And the reason why these sea turtles get cold sun is because we do have the Laguna Madre Bay that is just on the other side of our island strip. And this bay happens to be very shallow. It's only approximately 5 feet in depth. So it can get very warm very fast, but it can also get cold very fast. So this cold front that came in was quite a strong one. We actually were under the threshold of 50 degrees Fahrenheit in water temperature. And this is why we were getting so many sea turtles coming in early this week. And so what happens to them is that their heart rates will slow down so much that they're not able to swim, and they will float up to the surface. Eventually, they'll get pushed in by the winds and waves into our shallow areas. And that is when our amazing partners and volunteers and our staff members are out on boats. They're out on foot, making sure we bring in all of these sea turtles out of the cold and into our facility. Now, what we're trying to prevent is from them drowning in the water while they're floating out there, or them developing pneumonia in those shallow waters where they may be breathing in some water and air at the same time, as well as getting attacked by predators that don't mind the cold, like our coyotes. So we have all our volunteers here, our staff members, and I actually see our CEO, Wendy Knight. How's it going?
It is a beautiful Sunday on South Padre Island, finally. I'm sure Victoria told you, but this has been an exceptionally long 15 days. For the staff and volunteers at Sea Turtle Inc. We have had unusually odd weather for Texas beach community, and the staff has tirelessly worked all day and all night for the last really 17 days. So this is what it's all about. It makes days like this when we have 1,500.
Hi guys, I'm so sorry about our connection, but we do live on an island and we are releasing on the beach. So sometimes our connection can get quite spotty here, but you guys are just in time. Our trucks are still not here, so you are still going to get the full view and the full experience of this cold sun release. You can see that hundreds of people are already here. They are waiting for this release as well. Some people have been waiting here since 9:30 in the morning to get that front row seat. So you guys are lucky that you'll get that front row seat just in a few minutes here. If you guys have any questions at all, please put them in our comment section. As we're able to, we will be answering those as well. And please, if you feel like donating today, there will also be a link down below where you can click and donate as well. We are going to go through our visitors here to see if any of them have any questions for us or wanting to know a little bit more information. Good morning, guys, or actually good afternoon. It's already noon. How are you guys feeling?
Good.
Where are you guys coming from?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska. Wow. Did you guys know that we were having a cold sun?
Yeah.
All right. How long have you guys been here?
For like 3 days.
3 days. So you guys got really lucky. Have you guys seen sea turtles up close?
Nope. No.
Have you guys sleep? Hi. Hi guys, we are going to keep moving here because our connection is not liking the spots that we are currently in. So we are going to make our way to the front of the line here so we can get that close-up view for you guys, and hopefully we'll stay connected for as long as we can. But again, we apologize for the connection issue, but we are on an island here. Here we have a lot of people that are coming out to us to see these Colston sea turtles. Again, we are releasing over 350 sea turtles today, so it is going to be quite of an experience for many of these people that came out today. Again, these Colston sea turtles will Colston when the temperatures drop under 50 degrees out in our bayside. This is a bay-only event, so we typically do not see any of our sea turtles getting Colston on our beach side. It's usually just in our bay because our bay is quite shallow at approximately only 5 feet in depth. But they are all ready to go, and we will have these trucks coming up very soon here. And we'll give you guys a front row seat to these sea turtles. Now, the first truck, or the first few trucks that are coming in, they are going to have our large sea turtles because these are going to be released right on the shoreline, and they're going to walk their way in. So I think they see the trucks coming out, so they are getting very excited about being out here with us. So we are going to see these people here to see where they're coming out from. You guys had front row seats. How early did you guys get here?
9:30.
9:30 in the morning. So you guys are very lucky online that you just tuned in right now. You didn't have to get up any extra early. Where are you guys coming from?
Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada.
Canada! Oh, so we have a lot of Canadians here. So if you are streaming in from Canada online, make sure you say hello to your other Canadians that came out to see our sea turtles today. Have you guys seen a sea turtle out in the wild before?
Never.
Awesome. Okay, so it's going to be quite an experience, and you do have the front row seat, so that is awesome for you guys. Thank you. So as you can see right in front of us, we have all our staff members and our volunteers that are ready to be releasing these sea turtles into the Gulf of Mexico.
She wants to run with it. No, I don't.
Yeah?
I don't. Yes, she does.
Hi. What's your name?
Drew.
Drew, where are you coming from?
I am coming from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Lincoln, Nebraska. I think we also had some other people from Nebraska down there. So have you guys seen a wild sea turtle before?
We have
Never. No.
Unfortunately, during the polar vortex on Boca Chica, we saw expired ones.
Oh, okay. So
That was sad.
yeah, that sometimes can happen during this time of year. But are you guys very excited for today?
So
We're super excited.
Stinking turtle excited.
Yes.
Awesome. You guys.
Sea turtle.
So make sure that you guys are going onto our website. If you guys have any questions on how you guys can help us, either by donating, becoming a volunteer here with us, or coming onto any of our educational programs here on site. We do have our Turtle Taylor over here. She is going to be assigning these sea turtles to the appropriate volunteers for release. It can be quite difficult to release some of these sea turtles as they are very ready to go. They are flapping their flippers and they're wanting to get into that water. Our small ones are going to go into the water about waist deep, so they are able to get back out into the Gulf. And then our large sea turtles will be released here on our shoreline, and they will walk, or they will crawl their way back into the water. But we see the trucks here. We're very excited. So as I mentioned before, these are going to be green sea turtles, and these are going to be the largest of the 350, 375 that we are going to be releasing today. So these can actually get up to 400 pounds. I believe the largest green sea turtle ever recorded was actually closer to 800 pounds. But the ones that we'll be releasing today will be anywhere from 100 to 150 pounds. So they are still quite heavy, and because of their shell, they can also be a little awkward to carry. So you'll see how they can struggle a little bit on that lifting. So we are going to move to give you guys a view of the truck here. All of our staff members are making their way onto the beach. So this is medical care and conservation. Dr. Banca is in charge as well as assigning these sea turtles to our volunteers and our releasers who will be getting into the water. Again, if you guys have any questions for me, please leave them down below in the comments. And Maria, who is behind the phone, she will be giving me those questions as we go. But as you can see from here, these are some big boys or big females. So we do need some bigger adults to be able to lift. They are lifting from the top of the carapace to the bottom of the carapace, close to their tail. We call this the hot dog hold. And they will be releasing them right there at the tide line. And they will be crawling in themselves. They are ready to go. They know what they're doing. And they are able to get back out there. Again, guys, once they are in the Gulf, they will search that deeper water where it is warmer at around 50 feet or so. And they are able to stay warm during another Colston event, if we do end up having another one here in Texas. There goes Wendy Knight. So this is probably one of the largest ones that we have here coming out right now. Very close to 150 pounds or more. So they're going to have to take this one with 3 people. And as you can see, those flippers are moving. She is ready to get out there. Here. We have more of our releasers showing up on site, and we are bringing up the next vehicle now. But as you can see here in the tide line, you can see the first one's already about to get into that deeper water, so it should not be able to see it anymore. But the last one, you can kind of see the little carapace towards the top. But they are making their way back out right now. So here we have another partner of ours. This is NOAA Fisheries. They are great partners of ours as they help us make sure that we are bringing in these sea turtles to our facility. So they do donate their time as well as their vessels in order to remove these sea turtles from the wild and bring them to our facility. This is another truck of larger green sea turtles. So again, anywhere from 100 to 150 pounds. So we are going to have to team these up in pairs, maybe even 3 people to get these back into the water. As you can imagine, those flippers are quite strong since they use those front flippers for power during swimming. So when you do get slapped by one, it does kind of hurt. And it can leave a bruise sometimes as well. We see that we're having a lot of people help us out today, one with the public, making sure the public gets a good view of what we're doing here today, but as well as keeping these sea turtles safe. All 7 species of our sea turtles in the world are endangered, including the green sea turtles that you guys are seeing here today. So we need to make sure that they are getting back into the water safely and moving back into the Gulf of Mexico. We do also have the U.S. Coast Guard helping us out today. They were a great help during this coastline as well as prior coastlines in getting these sea turtles out of the cold waters and into our facility where we await for them to warm up. Now these sea turtles, when they get cold stunned, they'll look like they're sleeping, not really moving very much. And once they are indoors, within 24 to 48 hours, depending on the size of the sea turtle or how long they have been out in that cold weather, they'll start coming out of that state of shock, warming up, and then they'll start swimming around or moving around in their tubs. We do host a swim test before doing a release for our smaller sea turtles. They tend to get shock a little harder. Alright guys, so this looks like it might be the last truck of our larger green sea turtles, but don't worry, we probably have close to 300 more sea turtles to go. Again, we apologize for the spotty connection here on our beach. Actually, this is our last vehicle with the large ones, so you guys are getting a good close-up view of the last sea turtles here. We are going to move our way in between these two next trucks so our public can see at the angle. But again, so these guys are closer to 100 pounds now. We're probably reaching 80-pound sea turtles as well. So now we're going to see more of our individual staff members being able to hold these sea turtles alone. If you guys have questions about the marking on their carapace, this is just so we know. Alright, so if you guys can see the carapace from here, we have numbered our sea turtles so we can know what pit tag is going into which individual sea turtle. Now these pit tags are very similar, if not the very same pit tags that you guys will put into your cat or dog at home. I actually got to tag my very first sea turtle about 2 days ago, and they don't flinch. They are actually stronger than our dogs and cats at home. And that pit tag will go right into their front left flipper. And this is so we're able to know if we are having repeating sea turtles come into our facility. So it doesn't work like a satellite tag. We're not able to ping their location. But we can see if they have come to our facility or have stopped at another rehabilitation center during their lifetime. So it looks like we just got done with our larger sea turtles, so we are probably going to move on to our smaller ones. Again, that was probably only about a quarter of the sea turtles, so we still have many green sea turtles to go for this release. Don't worry, y'all. We'll start bringing them back further and further the closer we get to the end. All right, so we're actually going to move our way to the other side. But if you want to get a view of the sea turtles from that are in the back of the truck, you can tell that these guys are more of a juvenile stage. So anywhere from 5 to 8 years old. The ones that we saw earlier today being released are already subadults, so that's why they were so much bigger and heavier as well. We do have more of a percentage of our juvenile green sea turtles sticking around here in the area due to the shallow waters in our bay. It is safer, as well as they have a large foraging ground here in the bay. We actually have 80% of all the seagrass that is found in the state of Texas here in our Laguna Madre Bay. So we get many of these green sea turtles that will forage on that seagrass. If you guys ever wondered what green sea turtles were named after, they're not actually green in color, but they do eat so much green that their insides and their fat deposits will turn green. So that is where they get their name from. So we're going to move here behind the trucks, making sure that we don't block any of the views of our visitors here. So we're going to give you more of side profile view, as well as getting down low so our visitors can see as well. So these sea turtles are small enough to either hold them hot dog style or hamburger style. Hamburger style is when you hold a sea turtle on either side of its shell. You're able to hold it with those two hands, making sure you have a firm grip. As they are so excited and ready to go, they can hear the waves, and they'll start kind of swimming while you're holding them in the air because they are so ready to get out there. Now, if we pan out and look at our releasers, they do have to get into the water about waist deep because they're small. We don't want them getting disoriented, so we want them heading straight out into the Gulf of Mexico. So we do have to get past that first break there and make our release. We also do have the head of medical care out here who is making sure that our sea turtles are getting past that break and making their way out. We have one of our educators, Hannah, right now. Hannah was actually an intern this past summer who is now full-time one of our educator specialists, and she has one of these juvenile green sea turtles, hamburger style. So you guys can get a close-up view. All right, thank you, Hannah. He needs to head back into the water. They are very excited as they've been with us for over 3 days now. So I'm sure they're excited to get back to their home. Now, as you can see, some of these greens will look a little darker and lighter compared to others. But this just means that they have a little bit of different genetics. So just like my hair might be dark brown and your hair may be a lighter color, due to genetics, it is the same thing in green sea turtles. So some of them can come very, very light colored, almost like a vanilla color. And then we can get very, very dark ones, so almost a black in color. But they're all still Atlantic green sea turtles. Again, if you guys have any questions for us, we can answer them now. As we look at the comments, again, we apologize for the connection issues. So if you had a comment posted during our other live, make sure you repost it. Let us know where you're coming from. If you've been to Sea Turtle Inc. before. As you can see and can imagine, this is a team effort. We wouldn't be able to do this without all of our volunteers and our partners. It really does take a village to bring in these sea turtles, one, but also to get them back to the place where they need to be in order so they're able to be released today. Once at our facility, we do separate these sea turtles into sizes, which is why you are seeing them today come out in similar sizes. When we put them into tubs, there is no water in that tub, so they're able to rest and not worry about having to lift their heads to breathe. And we do separate them by their size and weight, so we don't have larger sea turtles trying to climb. There isn't really an issue of our sea turtles being out of the water for as long as they have been. The only real concern is to try to keep their eyes lubricated. So every night our team does split up in teams to lubricate over 300 sea turtles' eyes. So we're going to move further back so our volunteers can see this new pair of trucks here. We do have the Coast Guard out here with a couple of trucks, as well as Texas Game Warden, to make sure that we are all getting our sea turtles safely into the water. You can see that this tide is coming up here. So these are more of our juvenile green sea turtles. Very small, anywhere from 10 pounds, maybe even less. We can see our CEO, Wendy Knight, here on the left, showing our visitors a close-up view. So we'll walk over to get a better view of that green sea turtle. Sea turtles can have very different personalities. This guy looks very chill. He is getting ready. There he goes. Yep, he smells the water. He hears the waves crashing. He knows where is home. So he is ready to go. Again, for those that are online, if you want to help us out, we are a nonprofit organization. We do rely on our volunteers. We rely on you all, our fans, in order to take care of these animals. If you would like to donate, we will link our donation button down below, as well as our Amazon wish list. As you can imagine, we went through many different supplies during our Colston events, and so we will have to reset in case of another release. We went through hundreds of paper towels and trash bags trying to keep these tubs that these sea turtles were in as clean as possible and sanitary as possible, so they don't develop any other problems while here with us. We have several of our volunteers waking up early in the morning to come and clean their tubs, as well as another group of volunteers later in the afternoon, again, to help us clean those tubs. So we went through several supplies, cleaning supplies. So if you would like to help us out in that way, you can always search our Amazon wish list and make a donation that way. If you all are winter Texans who come to Texas only during the winter, that doesn't mean that you cannot volunteer with us here as well. We have several winter Texans that will come and only volunteer for a couple months out of the year. Come to volunteer here with us. But we are actually going to wrap up real quick, and we will come back live again in just a bit.